I'm Natalie, a golf fitness trainer, and welcome back to my channel. Today, in much more glamorous surroundings than usual in the gym, this is Monterey on the Portuguese Algarve, and one of my favourite golf courses ever, and probably one of my favourite places in the world as well. And this video today is all about how to create width in the golf swing, specifically the backswing. So how to create a wide, powerful arc in the backswing to help you gain some distance, create some more clubhead speed, and hit the ball stronger, more consistently. So let's have a look at a real simple exercise you can do with only an iron to see how this can improve your game. So first things first, let's have a little look at a couple of mistakes that are seen through the backswing in terms of not creating enough of a wide arc and powerful rotation. So the most common thing for me is a breaking of this lead arm. So for a right-handed golfer, we're talking the left arm, and obviously for a lefty, we're talking the right arm. So one of the most common things that I see is people with this big bend here, which means that the golf club stays very narrow to the body. We're not getting that width and that extension of the lead arm here, which puts you in a much stronger position in the backswing. Secondly would be a bit of a flat swing on the hole, so come in very around the body this way, quite flat, where we do typically have a straighter lead arm, but we've lost a bit of that width in terms of the club being slightly further away from the body to create that downward angle into the downswing. And lastly, probably seeing a bit too much of this gapping position here in the takeaway. So we get this gap here in terms of the club being quite far away from the body, and therefore we lose a bit of width, because what tends to happen is then the club gets pulled very far inside the body coming into the backswing. So this exercise is all about helping you create some feels for the backswing. And I hate that word because it just sounds a bit stupid really. But in terms of exercises, a lot of the things that I do on this channel is about creating pure mobility, pure strength, pure speed. And sometimes we have to then link that to the golf swing. So we have to have the ability to use our mobility and our strength and put our body in better positions in the golf swing. And that is what this exercise will do for you. So I'm going to start here with my 7-iron. You can do this with any iron. Just bear in mind, the longer the club gets, the harder this will become, because obviously it will be further away from the body. So what I'm looking for is basically for me to take a normal setup. I'm going to grip at one end of the club and then on the club head like this. So we're going to do this in one grip, and then we'll change the grip slightly. You can do this exercise either of the two ways depending on how it feels for you. And all we're looking for really is to keep this really simple and literally create a backswing from this wider position. So if I set myself up as normal, I'm going to rotate naturally, try and keep my eyes on the ball, turn as far as I can, which gives me this lead arm position here, creating some width so the golf club has come away from my body here. So this lead arm remains nice and straight, and I know my right arm is not in a natural golf swing position because obviously I would be here if I was gripping the club. But the idea is to create this wide turning arc away from the body. So what we're avoiding is any breaking and narrowness to the golf swing. So you've got a grip on either side, strong setup, keep your eyes on where the ball will be. Going to create that width, let the hips turn with you really strong through the legs. And you're just going to hold here for about 5 to 10 seconds as best you can without manipulating posture. So in other words, we don't lift through the spine and we don't change our angles in terms of the legs. So I'm not hiking back through the hip here. I'm just going to turn on my center point through my spinal angle and hold this position. And whilst I'm in this position here, it's my core that's working really hard to maintain the width and the rotation that I've just achieved. And I'm also using my legs quite strong to maintain a stable balance and center point that I can just turn around. So we're not having to manipulate any angles, any club path, and therefore we get some consistency in terms of our strike. This video was sponsored by GX Golf Gloves, tour-level golf clubs at much more affordable prices, worn by elite amateurs and tour pros. If you haven't seen them already, check them out at GX Gloves. And also you can use my discount code PRO10 for 10% off at the checkout. So the second grip we can use for this exercise is really similar. I'll go on the end of the club, and rather than me holding on the outside of the head, I'm just going to come underneath it this time, so create a bit of a rough 90 angle through my trail arm. Exactly the same exercise, so setting up the same, and as I start to rotate this time, I'll feel like I create a bit more of a 90-degree angle here, which obviously loses me some width through this trail arm, but some people prefer the feeling of this because it is a little bit more natural to the golf swing. My left arm will still be on the butt end of the club. I'm going to keep my eyes on the ball and just keep turning through this position here. So for me, this does lose you a little bit of width in terms of the lead arm, but it does give you a bit of a feel for that trail arm fold. Even though it's not quite in a perfect golf swing position, you can feel that right shoulder and the right shoulder blade working along with the core in posture in the same way that you would do when you're hitting a shot. So to look at this movement just as one, we've got that trail arm underneath. I'm going to rotate naturally, try and create the width through my golf swing, and then I'm just holding for 5 to 10 seconds here, letting my core do some work, keeping my eyes on the ball. And then if you feel you've got a bit more turn, just keep going that little extra through the body, because this exercise is all about just pushing the limits of what you currently do. So if you have a very short backswing, very disconnected backswing, this is about putting your body in a position it doesn't normally get to. So letting it just achieve that extra range of motion. And with a bit of practice and some repetitions, what you should find is that you kind of find a nice middle ground where you start to turn a little bit further than you would do, and it feels comfortable. So it doesn't feel like a real strain to get that width in the backswing. With this exercise, I'd be looking for something between 5 to 10 reps. It's a little bit harder than you expect. It's quite challenging here through the core and through the legs. And of course, on this lead shoulder as well, particularly if you're a bender of the lead arm, this will feel a little bit unnatural. So something like on the driving range here, using this as a warm-up drill, in the gym, using it as a warm-up drill as well, and just at home, something to practice in terms of getting those feels in the backswing, creating that wide arc, and really trying to develop that little bit more turn than what you currently have. So give that a bash. Really simple exercise to help you create some more turn and specifically some more width in the backswing. Very easy to do. You only need your golf club, and you can do it as a little warm up here down on the driving range as well. I should probably take advantage of the sunshine and go and do some practice. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button for a like. Don't forget to share the channel with your golfing friends. And of course, if you haven't subscribed and this is your first time, thanks for joining me. And hopefully I will see you next time for a brand new video on golf fitness.